Hey, how's it going, YouTube? How y'all doing today? I'm just over here. I'm feeding puppies right now. Getting these puppies some puppy food. I figured I would just leave these cattle alone. They're grazing. If I go over there, they'll start moving. So, yeah, they'll start looking around at me. They'll start moving. So I'm just standing here right now on my back porch, feeding some puppies. Just feeding puppies. Giving them some food. I've been looking at different equipment. So I got a couple of packages, I guess I would call it, put together. So by a package, I mean a tractor with a baler for silage, as well as just everything else that I would need. It's a rake. As well. Okay, so here is what I've come up with so far. If I spend, I have a package deal that I put together that I can roll a 4x5 bale on. That'll cost me, what was it? It'll cost me about $16,500. And every one of these packages that I put together with decent equipment. From what I could see, it was good to decent equipment. So I have that one for $16,500. Then I put together another package for well, how much was it? Let me think. 12. I have another package put together, and it's about 35,000. So my reason for going up to 35,000 on my budget is that if I'm going to buy silage equipment, this silage equipment is something that I have. Only way for me to make money on this silage equipment is to make a return on it by producing silage. This tractor, I may be able to make a return on it by getting grant money for it. The silage equipment is something that I can only make a return on if I have to make silage with it to make a return on it. This tractor, I may be able to file for a grant. So this silage equipment, whether I take a 2-year finance or a 3-year finance or a 4-year finance, it hardly matters. This silage equipment, I need to buy something that I can use for a long time. This tractor, my big focus of this tractor is to swap it out in 2 years. When I buy a new field, when I buy a bigger property, when I get more land, I would like to take this tractor, sell it, to buy a good big tractor, a newer big tractor to farm that larger piece of property with. That's my big goal for the tractor. My silage equipment, though, is something that I will need to take with me to that new property. So I figured I would I need to seriously consider buying better silage equipment, buying higher end silage equipment, just because I'll need it for a longer time. So that is why I went up to $35,000 on my budget, because I will be taking a longer term finance for it. I would be willing to take a 3 to 4 year finance on silage equipment. I would only be willing to take a 2-year finance on a tractor, though. My credit right now, as of right now, so all of my credit is essentially I have a tremendous sum of credit tied up into these cattle. So I checked my Equifax FICO score. My FICO score right now is subprime. I am a subprime borrower as of right now. If I needed credit, I would be able to obtain credit. It would just be at a high interest rate. So I need to liquidate these cattle, then pay my debts to get myself up to about, I would say it's going to be about 775 credit. Then I could go to leverage that credit for more equipment. So as of right now, my My credit is subprime. Good thing about my credit though is that credit is tied up into these cattle. So when I liquidate these cattle, I'll be able to pay back all of my debts. A majority of my debts. It's like 95% of my debts. I'll be able to pay them back, as well as have some money left over. So my credit score will go up drastically. I will also have some money left over to potentially leverage to cover debt service costs, or to put as a down payment for any equipment that I may need. So I have a few packages put together. From what I've seen, everything looks well. Okay, so if I'm going to buy used equipment, I'm just going to anticipate that something will break on it. Something will. If it's let's say I buy a baler, and they say, oh well, it was a 2005 model, so right now it would be nearly 20 years old. That baler being almost 20 years. Okay, so well, something's gonna go wrong with it. Like the rubber on the belts will have dried up. There's a good chance that any sort of rubber will have dried up on it. Who knows what's gonna go wrong with it? The chain may be rusted. Who knows? In all honesty, who knows? Something's gonna go wrong with it though. The tires may be wonky on it. The hydraulics, something. I mean, the hydraulics may have started to rust. I mean, something's gonna be wrong with it. Something's gonna go wrong with it. Something is going to I'm going to either need to put money or time into it to fix it. So that because brand new equipment, it comes with like a 2-year warranty. Brand new equipment generally comes with a 2-year warranty, as well as a very low interest rate. So if I go to a used dealership, then they start talking about their equipment is practically brand new or whatever. It is a load of baloney. I mean, they may be trying to their whole thing maybe, oh well, it's only got this that on it, but it may be 20 years old, but it's only got this that on it. But the big part of that whole thing is that it's 20 years old. That thing is worth a fraction of what it was when it was brand new. I mean, the price on it will have been plummeting since that the first day it was made. So it may be quote unquote like brand new. It is 20 years old though. So I mean, it's going to be worth a fraction. Every single year that passes by since it was made, it will be plummeting in price. Because something's going to go wrong with it. Then I'll have to pay for it, because there will be zero warranty on it. So if they're that sure that it is that immaculate, they can give me a warranty on it. That if they give me a warranty on it, I would take their word for it. But with zero warranty, I'm just going to anticipate that something's going to go wrong with it. So, yep, I have a couple of packages put together that I'll be going to go get. The balers, I did make sure that they are able to operate at 2,000 plus psi. These balers that I've been looking at, well, okay, so if I ran it at 2,000 psi, the hydraulics on 2,000 psi, I also don't want a baler that's going to top out at that range. So if the maximum capacity for the hydraulic pressure on that baler is 2,000, and I need 2,000 psi to pull a proper bale of silage, I also don't want to be running that baling equipment at its maximum potential. But just because, okay, it's just like an engine. If I have an engine that is capable of pushing 70 horsepower at at maximum output from the PTO, if I have to run it at 70 horsepower, if I have to run every single bit of horsepower from that engine to operate the equipment at a constantly, it's going to put a lot of wear on that equipment. So it's the same thing with the hydraulics on the baler. If I need to run a 2000 psi baler to roll a bale that's going to be hard enough, or it's going to have enough air pushed out of it to roll a proper bale of silage, to have a proper bale of silage, if it tops out at 2000 and I run it constantly at 2000, it's going to put a lot of wear on that hydraulic system. So I'm looking for something that can go beyond that 2000 psi, for significantly beyond that 2000 psi for the hydraulics on the baler, as well as significantly over the required horsepower to operate the equipment. So those are a few things that I'm keeping a good eye on, other than just making sure that I get a decent tractor that will last me for at least 2 years. I'll have to go take a look at that in person for myself. There are opportunities popping up everywhere. I see probably 2, 3, 4 a month. Where I'm like, man, this person is really they got a tractor on market right now for a very, very, very good price. They got a good tractor for a very good price. I see several of them every single month. So I mean, yep. And I still have time. I got on this real early. So I still have time. I'm just doing my diligence, my due diligence to find me a tractor. So yep. Yep. All right, that's it for me today, YouTube. I gotta go get ready for work. Y'all be going.